When I was preparing to go to court to declare myself insolvent, bankrupt, I was even myself shocked of how much I'm owing.
You didn't know.
If you are married in community of property,
Yeah.
and one of you goes to sequestration, you have also closed that other person.
They take both of you.
And if you are married in community of property, that becomes both of you. You lose everything that is in your name. So
You lost houses, cars, going.
yeah, you lose everything that is your name. In fact, you don't even you surrender them, because you know that guy gave me his car A6 brand new, wangi papi. What, I cannot see you suffering like this.
He gave you the car,
Yes.
not loan.
Nama paper. What is, send me the address now where you are staying. He drove 2 cars. His car was arranged at the back. Immediately, you make your bedroom a boardroom. The marriage is finished, because the marriage is all about.
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. We are talking getting out of debt, or we are talking debt. I had an episode some time ago last year with Princess Palesa Kambule, and a lot of you were asking, some of you were asking, is she real? How did she get to 300 million debt? And others were saying, how did she come out of 300 million debt? And I know a few people that said, you know what, I was struggling with my 100,000 debt until I watched her and thought, you know what, things are not so bad. I'm sure I'll come out of this. So I had to call her back to say, let's talk about a little bit more how she got into that situation, but more importantly, a lot of what we can learn and where she is in life right now, because from that time to now, Sisters has been growing.
Yeah.
You're coming back from Russia.
Yeah.
How was getting the visa for Russia to begin with?
No, there's no visa to South Africa.
So I can just go.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay.
You can just go if you want.
So it's just America.
I am
That's
married.
hard.
Yeah, but I won't go there. There's nothing that is for me there.
All right, so let's talk about the last episode.
Yeah.
The debt, the sequestration, because in talking about it with you, you're saying a lot of people don't understand what sequestration is. So how did you get there in the first place? What was like the first contact with debt?
The first contact with debt is when the business was booming, and then I was offered debt in different institutions.
Wait, what business were you doing? The first one.
The business that started to have some serious traffic in my bank account, it was the business of cement.
Okay.
Yeah, I was importing cement and then distributing it, because it was that time when around 2006, 2007, 2008, it was the time of the rush of building stadiums of Gautrain. So the country was really short of cement, because the manufacturers that are here in the country, they were looking to supply for the construction that was taking place, preparing for 2010.
Oh.
So that was the opportunity.
Is this an opportunity someone told you about?
I don't know if somebody told me about, but it was that I was having a lot of clients, especially in Limpopo, that time. And the reason Limpopo was so dry in terms of getting cement, it was that the manufacturers, most of them, they are here in Gauteng, and they were concentrating on the building of the stadiums, Gautrain, Kongelok. So they were then getting whatever is left. So there was this huge dryness of cement, including my project that I was also doing in Limpopo Main at that time. And I also was struggling to get cement.
All right. So you see this, you spot the opportunity, and it works with the importing. And the first debt was they saw that there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And said, congratulations, we are pre-approving you for...
No, there's a gentleman who called me, said to me, I see, Guti, you are doing very well with your maintenance of your account, and I can see you have your house bond with us.
Yeah.
Now we want to offer you something. And then he said to me, I know a good company for trucks, and I know the management company that can also assist you in running all those trucks. How do you transport your cement? I said, no, I'm hiring trucks.
Yeah.
And then now this is the catch. Cement's got a lifespan of 6 months. Ne? So if, for example, you've got 500,000 bags and then you are moving 2 trucks a day, so it only means good you'll finish the 500,000 bags in 12 months.
Did the banker know this, or?
Maybe he did that start. So 500,000 bags of cement, they need 740 trucks. So there's no minister of transport who will allow you 700 trucks on the road at a go. So you have to do the scheduling of moving it as quick as possible. Because if you are saying you're going to move 2 trucks a day, you are playing. That means you'll take 12 months in moving that truck. No, this thing reminds me of something. That time of the booming
So you're doing,
of the cement, there were people, they will say, sister, get 21 million bags of cement. It's sitting and just waiting for you to pick up. I mean, like, are you aware you are talking of 1,470 trucks to move that? So automatically, you know, good, this is the lie. There's no such.
Well, they were trying to scam you.
Yeah, there's no such, because to move 500,000 bags and you are using 2 trucks at 680 bags per truck, you are going to take 12 months on the dot.
You had a different kind of problem, eh?
Yeah.
The problems that need a minister to approve you on the road.
No, if you are going to put all those trucks at once, they can't. They won't allow that. So you have to either say, okay, a day I need 4 or 5 trucks or 6 trucks. Me, I'm running good. The 6 months must finish after the warehouse is empty.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when somebody is offering me to say, okay, you can have your own trucks. So now saying body flexibility. Because guys, it's not easy dealing with any transport business. Including your own. It's very stressful. You don't sleep.
Okay.
Because drivers are not trustworthy. Drivers, they steal diesel in the truck and sell it. Drivers, they are able to steal the load, buy Vula pilot, and sell it while they are on their road. And when the goods arrive there, when they count, there's always a problem. Something is missing. You know, so it's not easy. So if somebody says, okay, now you can have your own, you could jump for that one. So my first debt was that truck, those trucks, about 36 million.
How many trucks was it?
It was dead.
Okay, did you have a job other than what you were transporting?
Yeah, I was doing something else. I was involved in building the police station. It's a Messina, and the police station is a
Also, there was work for this truck,
Yeah.
so you knew even if you get the debt, there will be income.
There was income. Income was there. That's why I was offered. I never went to look for them. I never went to look for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how does the debt move then from the 36 million to?
Okay. While I was still busy with those jobs that I was doing,
Yeah.
I was also now looking at doing my own property development.
Okay.
I tried around even in Midrand, I remember trying to buy a land to do some complexes and all of that. But where it got me stuck, it's when I bought a land at Tsakan Extension 11 from the auction.
Okay.
Because that land was properly developed in terms of servitudes. It had electricity and water, and the stands were subdivided into 68.
So you bought all the 68 stands?
Yes, I bought the 68 stands. And
with your money or with a loan?
No, it was a loan. The loan was 600,000 and the cash was 1.6 million, those
Okay.
stands. And then starting to prepare in developing those stands on my 7th bond grant, because I was selling off plan, it was then stopped. Just that I forgot this name because the name is in Afrikaans as well.
Okay.
All these names that we don't know, they actually come in African. And what it meant, because I asked the lawyer, what does that mean? He says, no, it means that you can't do the transfer between the seller and the buyer. I said, why? They said, because there's a debt. And they said, where's the debt coming from? They said, the previous developer owed
some money.
Owed the money from the municipality in developing that land.
Ah.
So before any house to be built, you need to first do the services in the land, where you must put on the water, the sewer, and electricity. So, and you subdivide the stands, and those stands must be approved at the municipality. So the time you start building, according to the plans that have been approved also by the municipality, when you just connect those pipes through your house. So that was owing. It was that services that were done there.
What did it mean for you?
So for me, it was like, these people are playing. They don't know me. Why did they not block it on the transfer from the developer to me? Why did they allow that I take over, I buy it, and then now I'm starting to develop, now they are blocking it? So you will say, no, we'll meet in court. Okay, you'll meet in court for how many years? I think people, they know this project I'm talking about, and those who are from Tsakan. That project stayed a long time. I don't even know if now they ended up building or what. But that's what happened for a very long time.
So you lost all that money?
Yeah, you lose. Because you are still feeling fit and young, and you feel clever. That everything, it will be solved
in court
and through money. Can't know. It's just draining you and finishing everything that you have.
Okay.
And you know, it takes your time, your mind, everything.
Did you pick up some debts while you were still servicing?
I picked up a lot of debts there, because in South Africa it's normal to live in debt. Yeah, debt is part of our lives. There are young people who are growing up. They wish everything that they are seeing on social media, on the TV, and not understanding it's all about debt. You know, somebody doesn't. They are even happy to share. I've just bought a house of 10 million rand, and post it and put pressure, a lot of pressure to people that are coming behind them. And
they don't say that I now owe the bank 10 million.
No, they don't. They never say that. They will even say,
actually it's not 10, it's 20, because they are financing it.
They will even say God is very good, God is beautiful. And the only time you know me and my name and that I fall on that list or not, it's when I'm in problems with any institution. Then that's when you be like, Abo Palesa Kambule, sifuna imali abanamali bakolota imali ezingaka.
Did people find out that you're in debt? People around you? As you were picking up those credit cards, I'm assuming number overdrafts, they were coming into the picture.
There are overdrafts, there are open credit lines. Yeah. If you have not come to a stage in life that the bank will say, we're offering you a credit line, then you don't know what is that. They do that. There are credit lines that they even open for you.
But
Sometimes
were they not getting worried that your debt is getting too much?
no, they don't. The more debt, the more they want to give. As long as you are servicing your debt, the more debt, the more. And Nami, when I was preparing to go to court to declare myself insolvent, bankrupt, I was even myself shocked of how much I'm owing.
You didn't know.
When I'm myself ngatuka.
How did you find out?
Okay.
Who pulled out the report for you?
What they do, they will shock you. And I've always wanted to teach people this thing. In Ntando, you are sitting here and then I like what you're doing and saying, Ntando, please, I want you to be partner with you in registering a company. And then when you, what you call it, you just give your ID. And then after sometimes you follow up, sometimes you don't follow up. Only to find out good that time, that company you are part of, it grows and it makes it, but it doesn't pay tax. Do you understand? And ukumbule ukuthi from around 99 kushabo 2006 2007 makuqalwa ukuthi sisa register ma CK.
Yeah.
It was so easy for anyone to just say register CK and maseka register lapho. You don't follow up others. Abanye,
so you're saying there are companies that you're part of that created debts that you are not aware of.
A court, when mabafundi file yakho, they even tell you to guma companies ayingaki. I nearly fainted because I didn't even remember some of these companies.
And they were owing SARS, the tax guy.
Others were owing, not only SARS. They were owing. They took some debts in other banks, and you understand? And
didn't they need your permission to take that as a director?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I've been in a lot of companies,
Sure.
A lot of companies where people, because they like what you're doing that time, they love what they see, and now we are in a hurry. You are chasing what you are chasing. So I cannot take a call and say, Ntando, or I busy. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah, plus things were working for you, so you didn't really need to be checking on them.
But then, lapayana go checkwa yonkin to a point to go to if I bought something, maybe a land, and then register give me, and then I transfer, maybe it comes out.
That you bought and you gave your child.
Yeah. And if we take a very squelette, South Africa, when they talk of Muchi, but the system, I seven in South Africa was seven. South Africa was seven.
Oh, they will catch you.
Anywhere, lagune ID number yako khona, they will do any print out on a zang we born. You know, there was a time bazo kutshela ukuthi lana uthathe isikweleti ukule address lana bakhipha isikweleti samsango 1996 ejet engasatha student
they dug up your whole report.
You know what is nice? Bakhuluma ne address yasekhaya ne phone number ye landline.
They were reading all of that in court.
Yes.
Was your family there?
No, it's your history. Like we are dead. You don't.
Was your family watching?
No,
them
when they
expose you like that, because that must be embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. You understand? So tata amalona ama account budget ini hayi bona basafone or uyathutha ekhaya uyohlala somewhere basa busy bafonela le landline abakutholi iID number yakho ikhona. So you can't run away.
Was sequestration your choice, or this happened by force?
No, it was a choice that I made. Sequestration, I was explained to, okay, the amount of debt that you are currently owing, you've got a choice. Go and declare yourself bankrupt, and then all your debts, they come to zero. But the catch is that for 4 years, you can't do any business. And I know good to government, you can't get employed or sequestrated as well, because even your tax number is sequestrated. Or you don't declare yourself, but you go credit bureau for 5 years, of which you still need to pay back the money that you are owing. After 5 years, izophuma iphinde futhi iqalele phansi. So it's going to be your life ukuthi uyalandelelwa kufuneka imali yabo.
So you thought instead of being blacklisted, sequestration is better. Does it work though if I don't owe a lot of money? Can I say, please sequestrate me, I only owe 500,000?
Yes, it works. It does work. There are a lot of people who are insolvent that I know that were even owing less than $1 million.
Is it? I'm thinking it's for your level of debt.
Yeah, there are people that that I know of that were insolvent, that were owing less than $1 million.
But someone will hear this and get tempted to say, you know what, maybe this might be my way out. What is the true meaning and the true cost of sequestration?
Okay, the true cost is that you are buried alive while you are living.
Explain.
Because I even asked my trustees, because the court appoint trustees for you. So meaning good, you've got parents now.
Okay.
Yeah, that they are going to take care of you in terms of every decision you are making in terms of going back to business, and also while you are in business and you want to buy something, they have to be like maybe your financial advisors, some sort. So if your trustees, they don't agree, then you can't have it. So one, your ID automatically, CICP, you can't register a company. Okay. 2, you can't have a tax number. And once people don't understand, once your ID is in that way or in that sense, so you cannot be sequestrated most of the time if you're not a business person. You are sequestrated because you are a business person. And now what you want or what you wish is to go back to business.
Yeah.
But your ID can't do any kind of business. If you want to do any small business, your trustees must write a letter to the court to say, okay, for her to live, to be able to buy bread and milk, we have agreed she can work as a sole proprietor. And as a sole proprietor, yes, you can operate, but you are not like working like before. And then 2, if you apply for a job, you can't be hired. Your ID is blocked on it.
Doesn't exist.
You understand? And then this is the most important part that I've always wanted to teach people. If you are married in community of property,
yeah,
and one of you goes to sequestration, you have also closed that other person.
They take both of you.
And if you are married in community of property, that becomes both of you. So if you are sequestrated, both of you are liable for that debt.
What if, I'm just thinking that,
You get my point.
I see that we are married and you are getting into this and I quickly divorce you?
That's the best. I'm telling you, that's the best move. Because that is why, and why I'm pushing this and emphasizing it. Blacks like getting married in community of property. And mina, my marriage was saved because it was an out community of property. So my spouse said that he was then even able to continue with his life and his job. And his job was going to be online because he was also into government job.
Yo.
And in government, you cannot work there if you are insolvent. So I understand.
So you having been married out of community saved
me 100%. And it actually saved him.
Okay.
Do you get my point? Because
that's going to be a cool lesson for someone.
It has to be. So once you know what you are in business, stay away from
community of property.
And it's not about that there is no trust. It's life. It's practical. It's not the fairy tale of emotions, using emotions. Okay, what is that? Is a difference when the paper says out and in. So what is your plan, when what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve in somebody else's things?
All right. No, I get you. There are
so
many debates around that part.
So that is
we'll get to those. What I want to find out is, with sequestration, did the bank lose the money? Because if you are owing over 300 million,
there's nothing that they lose. Because
you don't have to pay back that money.
No, I don't have to pay. And they've already recovered it even twice or 3 times, because each and every debt that you take, there is an insurance of that debt. And for them to claim that insurance in order to cover that debt, they need a court judgment. It's either you are court judgment for credit bureau or of sequestration. So they never lose. How? They would have lost a long time. The amount of debt that the banks are offering to people, the banks would have been closed by now if there were no insurances on those kind of debts. So, like, I'll give you an example. You'll go and buy a house, a bond house, and then they will clearly say, even when you are signing there by the attorneys, this one is for the insurance of the house. And always the insurance is higher than the amount that they've borrowed you.
Or they insure themselves for more than the debt they gave you.
And when now their house maybe goes to auction or they are repossessing their house. Actually, when banks are repossessing the house, they are ripping off people. Because one, they are going to claim the insurance that you are owing and get paid. And then sell the house again and make another amount from it.
You make people angry.
No, I'm not making people angry. I'm just talking the truth. But then it's something that our country in South Africa has decided to offer us. Everybody is living in debt. Everyone is in debt. In South Africa, you even
debt for Africa is 1 in 3 people are in debt.
Imagine, even food is in debt. People are happy good. They buy grocery with a credit card. Clothes, credit.
Lot of people are getting into debt, and some will never get out.
No, it's not about them getting out. They must continue. That's the way of living. So it's part of us.
No. Explain.
It's part of us, Yonantando, because each and every time somebody is saying, I'm being a responsible mother or father, I want to pay my debt so that by the time, of this age of my child or whatever, I'm done with this debt. Ne? Before even that, they will see, good, what, this person is such a good loan customer. And they will pamper the person and offer more debt to the person.
Or you're saying debt is encouraged because if you don't have any debt and you try to buy a house, they'll say we don't have a history of you and debt, so we don't approve you. People who have pockets of small debts have a higher chance.
Yeah, people who've got a small pockets of clothing, of a car, of whatever, then they've got a chance to get more debt.
I get the reason, the rationale behind getting into these small pockets of debt, but what I've seen happen, and I'm sure you've seen happen too, is once people are given that access, many don't know when to stop.
You can't stop. It's like an addiction. It's like an addiction. You can't stop Because that's what I'm saying. It's part of us. It's the way it is designed. It's the way they've made sure that at first it was slavery in colonization. Now this is a disguised one. It's a disguised slavery of making sure that you'll have a reason to always go to work because you know good you've got debts to pay. So
I wanted to debate it, but I remember even the Bible says when you're in debt, you're a slave to
you
the
are a
person
slave
that you
to
owe.
the person. So it's a new system way of being colonized in Africa, especially in South Africa, because other African countries, they don't. If you want a house, you buy it cash. You want a car, you buy it cash. So Tina, it means we are still very much oppressed.
Yeah, when you're not traveled around Africa, that won't make sense. But
It
I was
won't.
talking on a podcast in Kenya with a friend, and he was shocked when I was talking about how I got into debt and some of the things that I was just spending through debt, saying, how do you get debt for those things? You guys get debt for this in South Africa. When you say debt for clothes and food and stuff, they were worried.
I will just tell you now, in all the bank apps that everyone has now, there is a, what do you call it? The immediate loan.
Yeah.
You understand? So when I'm saying that for us in South Africa is part of life, people are not scared of saying, let me check my app, Gucci, what immediate loan I can get now. And for what? Sometimes for fun, maybe. For alcohol. You understand? So it's part of us. It's a system that is designed to make sure that we are going to be making money. But now, how do we make sure these people, they keep on working? And this is another painful thing. You know, to owe something is very stressful. You can't even sleep. You can't sleep. A peaceful sleep.
Yeah.
You can't. Owing is the most psychological thing that really distract your health, your happiness. So those who think sequestration is fun, I've always said, I've survived sequestration, but most they don't, because it means you are dead while you are alive.
When your ID is blocked from everywhere.
It destroys you psychologically. Because now, you know, I was owing this, and you had a certain lifestyle that you were living. And now still you can't exercise anything again to try and pick up from where you were.
But Lisa, how was the difference in lifestyle from that 300 million debt sequestration to life after? What did you do? I imagine you lost a house along the way.
You lose everything that is in your name. So
you lost houses, cars,
yeah, you lose everything that is your name. In fact, you surrender them, because you know good. That time you don't have any kind of hope when that things will ever come back. But you just have that little faith, but one day I'll come back, I'll start something. And you are trying to do this, it doesn't work. You're trying to do this, it doesn't work. Yeah, well, so that life, it's very painful. I'm telling you, it's not something that I wish for my enemies. It's not something that you are used to a certain lifestyle and then boom, you drop. And everybody expects you to be normal and says to you, but these things happen. Yes, they happen, but it did not happen to you. They happened to me. And they disturb psychologically, especially if now you're a mother. Your children are used to a certain lifestyle. Even when you can say, I'm strong, I can handle this situation. But sometimes you even ask, for how long will I manage this situation? And my background was different. I didn't grow up needing. That's another part. So now at my, old age, I'm starting to need. It's something that it doesn't sit well.
Did you have to explain to the kids what was going on?
You will explain over and over. I remember my son was saying to me, mama kanti wayesihlala la eDiplofu kanti wayesingabuyeli lapho kule yandle yasekhaya and I'm like ibhenki ithathile no abuyele ebhenki bayisinikeze back.
How old was the son when he was saying, go back to
I
the
think
bank,
he was
get our
11
house?
years or 10 years. He says, no, hamba batshela ukuthi uyayifuna kukithi musilaphayana. Yeah, understand another like. And you are so trying. And now nabo bayabona ukuthi things have changed. And I don't believe ukuthi ukhona umzali ofuna ukubona that kind of sadness and sorrow kubantwana bakhe. So once you have passed that stage, that's when you look back and say, yo, uNkulunkulu ngigcinile. God really preserved me because bekufanele ngabe ngifile lapha. Serious. Bekufanele ngabe ngifile because now routine yakho ntando. You wake up in the morning, start imoto, uyagijima ngapha 3 a.m. That's mina bengiphuma endlini ngo3 every day. And I will come back 10, 11 at night. That's you can't make money sleeping. That's the fact. So mang lona then ngiyagijima. Yimi loya. Ngiyapi ngijimisa amatrack ami. Yini ungabhekini ngiyabona ndlulapi. Ngoma ngawagijimisa I'm not going to get paid in the right way. Ngoba la ngisa khona ama customer athi I want to see.
But when your trucks driving long distance, how
they
would you
I know. Angithi aphuma Richards Bay ngo3 in the afternoon or 1. Ngiyawazi mawondlula eJobe ekondlula ubani isikhathi. Ngiyawazi ukuthi awufika ubani isikhathi.
Go and track them in certain roads.
Yes, I know. As N1 nazoyapi ngoba kiwe Limpopo. So bathi ama customer I want to see the truck then I pay you. Why they were saying that abantu abaningi bebaskemiwe ngaso isikhathi ukuthi cement ne so mangayibona truck sefanele ngithi before ba offload nami ngithi I don't offload until you pay me. So that was the agreement. So my 7 o'clock I have to be in Polokwane. Mabaqala bavula ngabo 7:30 nami sengibhakile.
Every day?
Yes, every day.
300 kilometers?
Polokwane kuseduzane. I was going down to Bomesina Botzanini
500 to and fro in a day.
Yeah, hambi ngibuye. So that's how you make money. Unfortunately, you can't make money. Ayindlela elula ukwenza imali. And then ngama weekend ke besingasebenza. Then ngiyalala. Then morning. So now iphelile lonto leyo. O mangayanga lapho ngiyazi ukuthi ngesayithini mangayanga ngesayithini ngiyakuphi manga. Now sengivuka ekseni ngiyalala ngiyavuka ngirounda nelanga ngiyahla. Leyo nto leyo kuphela iyakubulala psychological. It's a soft killer.
All right, so let's help some people. What do you think would have helped you if someone had spoken to you when your debt was still increasing to say slow down?
Beyazi ngithola phi?
You're all over the place. No one can find you to begin with. Because I'm thinking there could be someone, maybe not 300 million because that's huge. Many people will never get there in their lifetime. But even 5 million.
No.
It can be depressing enough for someone to see.
Dando, if I'm owing 5 million and in my account I'm making 30 million, uzongstop kanjani a month? Uzongstop kanjani?
Yeah.
Yes, lento oyibuzayo. When you just went out, I was talking to the boys and I was like, there are people I can't advise. I can't advise because you won't listen to me with their ears. They are going to listen to me with their emotions and what they are feeling.
Yeah.
Somebody phoned me yesterday, crying, tears, that he's owing 500,000 rand. And honestly, angazi ukuthi ngithini mina kuyi. Ngoba le way ngizomphendula ngakhona angeke understand ngoba yena he won't listen with the ears. He's going to listen with emotions. Kuye 500,000 is the highest to the core, ne? And I'm not angidelele umuntu anginyathi umuntu, ne? But there was nobody, Ntando, that was going to sit me down and say to me, Princess, your debt is too much. Let me tell you something, Dan.
What would you have said to them?
Imali. No, bengekho. I was not reachable. You can't find me. Ngiyagijima Dan. Ngisestradini. Ngiyagijima.
You were working.
I'm working. Isikhathi sokuthi uzofuna ukungilecture. Uyangilecture ngapha ngifonela ukuthiwe i-truck ithema isuka eRichards Bay yathola amaphantsi ayi2. Fanele ngifonele ilona mina. I-managing company ihambisa amatayera lapho ikhona i-truck. Ngibusy. You can't. Ayikhonakala lonto leyo.
So you're saying for some people they need that problem for them to learn.
I don't say they need that problem. I've always said to me, if there was a Palesa that I knew before, there would have a lot of things I've never engaged myself to. There were a lot of investment that were unnecessary in my life. And there was a lot of decisions that I did not need to take those decisions because umuntu uyi-one, ingqondo uyi-one. Angeke uzihafule ukuthi ibangali ubengali. So if I had a Palesa that I knew before, ekulo Palesa unale experience lena, kuningi bengizokugwema.
All right, so if I'm hearing you correctly, and I think I like the point, at least how I understand it, it's if you had a mentor or a colleague who was operating at your level,
yes,
they could have said, actually, I've been there, and this is the risk that you're facing.
The risk, yes. Yeah, I understand.
So you're saying when you're at that level, it's hard to listen to Bontanda Bakuluma 1 million.
It's not good, it's hard, Ntando. When yourself, you won't come close to me. Asiqale lapho. Wena ungibona esithombeni, you decide, you finalize.
I disqualify myself from talking
Let
to
me
you.
tell you something. Engake ngayisho ngihleli nomunye ubaba. Sihleli nje siyaxoxa ngathi kulo baba, "Hey man, angithanda nje lo baba athanda ukuza nonkosikazi wakhe kwami and then ngathi mina kuyazi baba Shabalala. Ikhona into emisa empilweni yami." Wathi yini? Ngathi I'm missing umzali ozongikhuza. Wathi how? Princess kanjani? Ngathi yazini ne. The way impilo yami iseyihamba ngakhona.
Yeah.
Ngiyabona ukuthi man kukhona la ngenza khona ama faults.
So you could see in advance that you were heading the wrong way.
But yabona nakhona uzotshelwa umoya wakho. Uyabona ukuthi lana ngidinga umzali ongangikhuza akahlale nami angibonise ukuthi yazini le speed sakho lesi sizokuchayisisa.
Too fast.
Yeah, I understand. Ngamtshela wathi hayi mina ngiyacala ukubona umuntu okhumbula ukuthethiswa. Ngathi no, I am feeling it. Ngiyezwa ukuthi khona into emisayo empilweni nami. Ngishoda umuntu ukuthi athi kimi hayi angeke. Why uyithengile le moto uyithengile manje? Uyithengeleni besikhona isizathu na? Yeah, understand? And bewangekho. And ma ubaba sendlini asho kanjalo. The first respond imali yami. Ngisebenzela nzima kabi. Ngishiya la endlini ngo3 ngibe ngisestradini. Le moto lena is going to.
So at home your husband would tell you your speed is too much now.
Yeah, he would say good what
Slow
is
down.
the need of this car? Ngithi mina this car is comfortably, is on protect my roller. You always have answers. Yeah, I understand. Mara, kukhona la sofikelela khona ukubona ukuthi no man. Hayi. Meaning ukuthi wonke umuntu uyayidinga leadership. And wonke umuntu uyadinga lazo reporter khona. Bona mangisequestrated ngireporta kuphi kuma trustees. Ama trustees are reporter back at court. You understand ukuthi injani impilo?
Yeah.
And clearly, okay, for 4 years, baba deputy parents akho, because they are actually coaching your life, man.
Okay.
But you are not going to do that. And amount to your pay available kanjani.
All right. How did you come out of this 4-year cycle to being? Because I imagine before they choose you to represent South Africa AU, they choose you to represent South Africa with G20. They choose you to represent South Africa in a number of these big BRICS, big organizations. Don't they check your history and find on your ID number that Sisters has got this situation that happened 10, 15 years ago?
Okay. In all the positions that I'm currently representing today is because of my failures.
Okay.
Yeah.
How?
Because people don't trust somebody who has not experienced life. In fact, the positions that I'm holding, they don't need a beginner. You'll be too much overwhelmed with the figures. And you can then start the corruption. You can then say, I'm taking this. And so they need somebody, Guti, any figure does not move them. I'm not moved by any figure. Because now I understand, Guti, I'm not rich because of money. I'm rich because of people that are surrounding me.
Okay.
And the knowledge and the skills and the work that these people are doing. These are my riches.
Don't you ever get intimidated though when you sit in these G20 and BRICS rooms?
Yo, BRICS is serious, ne? You know, guys. So there are things that I believe God trains you, but the trainings are always not nice. You know, I think from 2016, because I was sequestrated in 2010, and then I forgot Guti in 2014 I'm free. So psychologically, I thought I'm still sequestrated up until I became a deputy president for Soweto Business Forum. So at a business forum, when we talk, when we, sikoka, even if it's a serious thing, it's sometimes in a jokes nyana, kuba mnandi nje. And manje futhi siyaqabana khona la. And asizwani manje siyazwana. So it's like a culture. No, that was not the training. That was being me, 100% me.
Okay.
And not being exposed to a diplomatic world. First time I went to AU, I called somebody to be like, I've never seen so many men in suits like this. Like and I'm like, imagine that only thing, it intimidated me because I lost set up. I've never been exposed to that kind of life. Even worse, but even if you know what you want to talk about, but you already are intimidated because it's not something that you know. It's not something that you grew up with. And when and then when the joke, because they are serious at a certain diplomatic level. And then now you have to start to adjust now. No mountando as around phone and you're like, untando. And that is why when you go to that level and ubanama coach akufundisa ukukhuluma, ubanama coach akufundisa ukufunda,
how to read on stage
ibody yakho iface kanjani, ubanama coach ndando azokusiza. It's like it's another new life for me completely. Kunezinto ojoka ngazo, kunezinto ongajoki ngazo. Ulimi lakho liba less.
Okay.
And indlebe yakho iyavuleka. You have to listen more and speak less. Uba nama coach ukuthi awufiki njena erumini Usoyafika sewudonsa isitulo uyalinda asho ukuthi ungangena uma ungena ume kuthiwe ungahlala nesitulo kunendlela osipusha ngayo awufiki nje uzilahlele. So uba nama coach, so that kind
You've learned a lot, eh?
Yeah, that kind of life is something very new, and it's something that I can proudly say I'm still learning. Sazama ukhipha ubulokishi.
All right, let me pick up on something that you said before we wrap up. You said someone was saying, I'm drowning in debt, it's 500,000. What would you like to say to someone who says the same thing? Not what you wanted to say in your heart, to 500,000 only.
No. It's not about iguti in my heart being it 500,000 only. In my heart being it, angazi ukuthi ngizomtshela kanjani lo muntu lona ukuthi angakhona ukuphuma. Angilalele. Inkinga angeke angilalele. Ngeke le ngizomtshela yona ngeke ayizwe. Why angeke ayizwe? Ulalela ngenhliziyo, hayi ngendlebe.
It's a painful one in a way, but I can see the truth in that if you are in trouble, you listen with your emotions first.
And you want to listen to emotions and you want to analyze with your brain. But you did not listen with your ears to process in the brain, then act with your emotions. Because there are a lot of people, even now today, they are sitting at home because emotionally they are not okay. And they were supposed to have went to a meeting today and meet somebody, meet Untando, and not even knowing what Untando can offer. But because she feels good, emotional, I'm not okay, I'm not meeting Untando. And then the opportunity just passed. And why you are not okay, my situation in the house is not okay. But you don't know Gutundando was going to give you something that was going to also fix that situation. So
the problem worsens because people isolate themselves.
It's normal. I did that. I've always said, good people don't move away from you when you're in trouble. You decide to move away from the people because you feel embarrassed. You want to take all the blame and shame and put it on top of your head. And when you see people happy and laughing, automatically so it's painful like that.
So every time people would laugh, you would think they're saying something about me.
Yeah, yeah. Now you see your emotions are playing with you all the time. So you are sad, you are depressed, and you are coming to Ntando, and Ntando knows good tells Palesa Muskond. You know, there's this guy, Sham. I won't forget him. He's called Smith. He saw me one time in Pretoria. Ngiyazama phela ngiyapatanisa ngithi hayi ngenzela abantu ikhampani nana. Ahlangana Princess, what's wrong? I'm jail. Mase ngicede ngithi hayi Smith, I'm rushing. Ngiyogibela itaxi what? You know that guy gave me his car, A6, brand new. Wangipha P. What, I cannot see you suffering like this.
He gave you the car?
Yes.
Not loan.
Nama paper. What is, send me the address now where you are staying. He drove 2 cars. His car was arranged at the back. It was a black A6 Audi. And that is why it was making people not to understand. Because there were those kind of people.
I was about to ask, because I wanted to ask you, when you had fallen, when there are people in your life through the connects and networks that you built that you could go back to?
They were. I didn't not even go back. There were people that were reaching out to me. There were people that were 100% reaching out and saying, no, this one, no. You know, there was a time I hate Pretoria with all my life, with all my heart. Ne?
Yeah.
But I ended up staying in Pretoria. And many people do not know because they knew what I hate Pretoria. But the reason I went and stayed in Pretoria and Centurion is because the gentleman offered to give me the house to stay. And I was not paying there. So I ended up staying in Pretoria like that.
So that must have softened the blow for the kids.
Yeah, although it was not a complete, but I'm just trying to explain. Good, there are people, but because of your situation that time, you don't want, whenever you feel embarrassed, in fact, you don't even want people to help you.
You don't want them to know what's going on.
One, you don't want them to know, and they know. Believe you me. They know. They know. And two, there are those who says, I want to help you to come out of this. And they come and they help. But yeah, often, so you end up moving and changing because we're embarrassed. Yeah, so if somebody who a problem much is owing maybe about 500,000, 200,000, 100,000, 100,000, it's a lot of money. I will tell you to put hours into making 100,000. It's a lot of time just to make 100,000. So it's a lot of money. Is that no matter what advice you can give to that person, they won't listen to you. They want to use their logic in thinking guti ganjani.
No, but today in listening to you, I think if someone has heard your story and they're in that situation, they'll listen to you.
Yeah, they must listen because things in life, they are not only physical and logical. Things in life are spiritual. And until you understand that part, nothing happens in the physical, ingandlulanga spiritual, then you won't understand.
Did you ever feel like there's witchcraft involved when you're losing all of these things?
Of course. I was like, ngeke. This is another level of witchcraft. This is the highest technology. Technology of witchcraft. Only to find out there's no witchcraft that was attacking me.
It's your decisions.
It's my decisions. It's my decisions, that. And there's nobody to be blamed. That's why when they say sometimes when you are young, you'll only realize when you are more matured and older, and you sit down and you're like, Mara, what was I thinking doing that thing, Mare? And that is when Guti leadership role is needed to each and every one. Leadership.
So I wanted to ask in conclusion, looking back at what you've learned, what would you have done differently, or what would you not have done? And you already answered me with the first one. The first one was, looking back, you would have gotten a leader, someone that you respect, that was going to speak into your life and just give you those warnings in time. What are some of the other ones when you look back?
When I look back, the mistakes that the biggest mistake that I'm still facing is demons still today. It was getting married a lot of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain.
Business and marriage, they go together. Because marriage is you. Business is you. This thing of owning or entitlement. Yoguti. I can do these things on my own. My happiness comes first. Then once wazala, there's no happiness. There's no happiness comes first. Yeah.
Once there's kids involved, your kids' happiness comes first. Is that what you're saying?
Once I've got kids, I've got a responsibility of taking care and giving those kids a good environment to grow up in. So usually this thing is discouraged to people maybe who are staying maybe in the squatter camps. But when we are living in an estate, abantwana siyabahluphekisa still on the estates by moving houses with different men because we can afford. And still lomdana lo lapha esquatter camp.
What gave you this lesson? Did the kids complain?
What gave me this lesson? My firstborn today, she's 26 years. My secondborn, he's 25. He's turning 25. 24. My kids, I don't know them. Because one, I was an absent mother. Because bengijimis imali. And two, I was not aware. Me being in this marriage, tomorrow on that marriage, is also involves them psychological, and it's also hitting them hard psychological. So it was not about my happiness alone. It was about our happiness together. But I excluded them because I felt Gucci, I want to give them a good life. Yes, they got a good life, but with a broken heart and a broken mind.
Yeah. What have you done to fix it?
Right now, when I took my phone, my daughter, she says, Mom. It's not Mama. I'm like, hello, my baby. Are you fine? Then she sent me a picture. I'm like, oh, my little baby. And she's 26. So only now I'm trying to bond and to close the void of her at 8 years where she could only see me once. You understand? Because I am running, man. I'm running. I remember we used to say, nicabanga ukuthi ngabo December masdonsi igap siyalala the whole year. And then you are taking your children to vacations. They don't want that. Bebafuna mama abo. They wanted their mother, they wanted their father. They wanted your presence because they bakhula abantwana to build ama memories. The childhood of my kids' memories with me on their pictures. They are on vacations. Not on a normal home.
That's the only time they could
when
get you.
We can sit down, cook a home-cooked meal. So I've always said, even when I'm invited to seminars, and all the women, they'll get angry at me. There is no my happiness, guys. It's our happiness. They went to good schools, but they didn't have a mother while I was alive. They have graduated university. There was no mother. You understand? And abantwana laba manje, I am trying to fix. Imagine ngizofixa nendoda ena 23 years. Angiyazi. Nayo kangazi. Because language yethu naye ukuthi this year, Mommy, where are you taking us for a vacation? And mangifika ku vacation, ntandu into engilala yona. Bangishiya lapha ngilele. Phela ngikhathele mina. Ngilele flat.
That's what you do on these vacations.
Bengizoyenzani?
They play, you sleep.
Ngizoyenza kanjani? Mangidlala ngikala 2 minutes ubuthongo bungiphethe ngikhathele. Ngapha kule vacation bahamba nobaba wabo. The next sebahamba nomunye ubaba.
Palesa, this divorces, did the losing money contribute or the having a lot of money contribute? I know one was abusive. We talked about it the last time.
The second one.
When you say I shifted.
The second one, it was losing the money. Any marriage that can face and win financial struggles, they are really blessed. Most of the marriages appeal because of financial lack. Financial lack, it's a serious disease in a marriage. Inesisindo esikhulu kabi. Akukho mnandi. And you find Gucci, these things you just don't wake up and ansena mali. But inking uyayibona is
also you can see the loss coming.
You can see the loss coming. You can see the
business collapse
coming.
You
can see the business collapsing. And in the bedroom, it's no longer the bedroom, it's the boardroom. And umshado sophelile Kanjalo. Ngoba immediately you make your bedroom a boardroom, the marriage is finished, because the marriage is all about the bedroom. The minute it changes, it's done.
All right, so there's a psychologist I was talking to a while back. They were saying money is never really the problem, but money gets a lot of the blame when the problem is deeper. Kind of like what you're saying with the bedroom change to be a boardroom. What causes the divorce or the struggle is the two of you really can't handle where you are in life as a partnership. Money is just a very good trigger that exposes that you two were already not on the same page.
Yeah, and then I pray for every couple to have money, especially ubaba wasekhaya. I pray for young boys empowerment ke manje. Ayesiyeke women empowerment. Asesithi young men empowerment.
You were clearly making more money than your partner. Was that a problem?
It was not a problem. I was making a lot of money. He had a lot of power. That's the difference. You
power
can
at
have
work or power at home?
Power at work. So once you, in life, is either you've got power or you've got money.
Also, he never struggled with confidence.
No.
At home.
Never. Never. He never struggled because he had a lot of power. And by the way, I chose my second husband. I've always told you. Because I had money. So I chose who I want to be married to.
So money can do a lot of things for you. Eh?
Yeah. And today I'm sitting with regrets. Because my second marriage was never supposed to happen. Even my third marriage was never supposed to have happened. There was no need. Because I was not going there with good intentions.
Okay.
Yeah. I was never going there with good
You
intentions.
remind me of what one of my mentors said. He was saying, don't make marriage a business plan.
Yeah. So I never went there with Lorna. One from my second marriage, I've always said I was looking for protection. Because he had power. And I was coming from an abusive marriage. And then I was like, this man will protect me. If I'm with this one,
no
I'm
one
done.
will play with me.
Nobody will come. You understand? And my third one came out of complete desperation. I was broke. I was sick. I didn't have money. I had 4 children. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a car. And
so you've been that desperate to think marriage will solve this?
And it did, because within a week I met the guy. He gave me his brand new Mercedes. He said, drive.
Hi, bo.
So it did. It does work. It does work. But now, the things, marriage is not about that. Marriage is about a purpose. And then there are many people who are married in Tando. The wife doesn't know what is the purpose of the husband, why she married her. And the husband doesn't know why the woman agreed. And they are staying in under one roof. Because the purpose is not clear. So I had my purpose, which he never knew. He also had a purpose that I never knew. And then when now money was out, then...
You're tested now.
Now we are tested, Gucci. What is the real reason you are together? Is it for the kids? Or is it for what? And remember now, in that area, I've always said that was my best marriage life, because in that 8 years I was making a lot of money. And in that 8 years, we never fought. What will we be fighting about? That I bought you a car. We can't fight. We can't fight for that. So what will we be fighting about?
So
There's
even
no
when
fight.
you were absent and traveling all the way across the country,
I was absent, he was absent.
and the money was there.
Yeah, there's peace. So you see now. So that is why I'm saying good
I
time.
hope someone will not listen and and get discouraged to get a lot of money. Or maybe they should learn that don't get a lot of money at the expense of family.
Hey, guys.
I know it's not an easy one to balance.
Let me tell you something. My prayer, people must not be that poor that the only thing they have is money. Because many people are poor with money. I was very much poor with all of that money. Because it was not about money. It's not money that makes you rich. The support system around you, your family, the friends, the colleagues, you know, everyone's got a special gift that is surrounding you. And those are your riches. So I was shocked of how my son started speaking because I was not there. So one day I called him. He was around 3 years that time. And then it's me, hello, unjani? Wathi yebo mama ngikhona wena unjani? I was like, huh? Mntana lo khuluma kanje. Like uyangibulisa ko yazini kahle njengomuntu omdala. So that's not life, but those little moments that my kids they were doing, bahlekisa kuba ama jokes kuba, I've missed them all,
and you'll never get them back.
I will never get them back. And those were my riches, because those were memories that I was going to still have up until today. But mommy was just running around.
I know someone will have learned
they
quite
must,
a bit.
they must learn, Guti. To have a house is not riches. It's a need. To have a car is not riches. It's a need. It's making your life easier to move from one point to another. To have a business, it's work. It's a need. You cannot live without a business. But to an extent, to an extreme that everybody has you except your own family, then that's not a need anymore.
So that applies to someone who's working as well.
Yeah, everybody's got you and it's got your back, and they have access at any time to you, but except your own children, they can't have access on you because mommy, she's busy, mommy, she's away, mommy, she's this, mommy, she's this. Then that's where things have just went wrong.
I think you've encouraged me to speed up there's an episode I wanted to do with a psychologist. I think after talking to you today, it has to come soon.
It has
soon, because I'm looking at the emotional cost and impact that some of our decisions as entrepreneurs have on the family. And what you were saying was deep.
Yeah, it is very deep, and I'm happy that while I'm still working, not like before, very working at my own time, at my own pace. That is making me to be available for everyone and at another level. See the difference?
Yeah.
I had all the money that I needed in the world, but I was not in this kind of places. And I was not in this kind of environment that I'm currently in right now. So that tells you that you don't get into these places because you've got money. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
And now somebody could say to me, but why you don't use this opportunity of your surrounding to enrich yourself? And say, it's not about me anymore. It's about people. And you can't do all of them at once. I cannot say I want to run a platform of people that are maybe are running into business and also want to compete with them. It's impossible.
Yeah, some greedy people do.
Yeah, they do, but what do they get done? How many do you know? And how much do they have? What do they have?
What should we look forward to when it comes to you? I know there's something you said you're doing in Swaziland.
Oh, in Swaziland, I'm the chairperson for the regional manager for BRICS, Businesswoman Alliance.
Oh, that's tied to BRICS.
Yeah, that is tied to BRICS.
What are you guys working on there?
Okay, let me explain to you. BRICS, WBA, it was organization that was set up to look and take care of women's entrepreneurs, especially those that are not at the starting or beginner stage. I have to make it very clear.
Okay. Established businesses.
Yeah, they are looking for established businesses that are looking to grow. Reason why is because the kind of investors that we have are not looking for startup. So it is a platform